Well, hey, in today's episode, we're gonna break down how you can finally collect your unemployment checks that you've been due. And look, you're not just gonna collect the check from this week, but all the previous weeks that you are due. We're gonna break that down step by step coming up. Now we're gonna go to ny.gov, and again, for this example, of course, it'll be New York State. I know a lot of the other state websites are very similar to this one. The first thing you'll notice is when you arrive at the website, it's very overwhelming. I'm not exactly sure where to go. There's all sorts of information. So typically what I do every single time is I just type unemployment into the search bar. And again, you can tell that I've been here numerous times, which I'm sure many of you guys have as well. You'll go ahead and click the top one, unemployment assistance, and you'll notice the average time of transaction is gonna be 60 plus minutes. I don't wanna discourage you, but it's actually probably gonna be significantly longer than 60 minutes, unless you can kind of find the perfect storm where you're able to fill everything out online in that one foul swoop. So go ahead and click Get, and it's gonna have you sign in. I'm gonna go ahead and sign in here below. Now, if you don't have a login, please obviously create one, check your email, make sure your passwords are correct, and go ahead and log in. You'll notice when you log in that you may have important urgent messages here in an inbox. There's online forms that are available for you to have to fill out if you haven't already. And then unemployment services is where we're gonna spend the majority of our time. Once you click unemployment services, you're gonna see view payment history, update your personal information, get your New York State 1099-G. Again, a lot of these forms are typically over my head, and if you're watching and if you know what those are, kudos. I'm just simply trying to walk through how to receive our unemployment. So you'll also notice, if you haven't been in here before, above the view payment history, you're probably gonna have something else that says file for unemployment, claim your unemployment, claim your weekly unemployment, some sort of form like that that'll actually probably be above what's listed here. So step one's gonna be for you to go ahead and claim your unemployment. When you click that, it's gonna walk you through a bunch of questions where you're gonna fill out the questions to the best of your ability. Now, one of the pieces that I can't stress enough is to have patience with this whole process. Now, I know what you're thinking. Could I be more patient than I've already been? It's been almost 2 months. I still haven't received unemployment. Listen, when I was filling out my unemployment, I went through the entire process probably 3 or 4 times. It kept kicking me out. And then finally, I only got through about 70% of the application. And then it says, guess what? Give us a call. After all these attempts, after all these weeks, I then had to call, and I couldn't just call any old day. I had to call on a specific day. And when I called, I am not exaggerating to you, I called 139 times. I tried the number on the website, I tried different numbers online that I found, whatever I was able to do to get a hold of New York State, and I'm sure it's the same for many of the states that are represented in this video. Now finally, after 139 calls, I finally got through and then had to wait an additional hour, hour and a half before a human being actually spoke with me. When I spoke to the person on the other line, it was there that I got to tell them the specific date that I started. We got to backdate my unemployment, and finally, about a week after that phone call, I received my first unemployment check. Now, if that's you and if you've kind of given up because of how strenuous this process is, I want to encourage you to keep calling, even if it's 139 times, because this money is due to you. This is nobody else's money. This is actually due to you. So keep calling, keep doing what you can do, and you're going to receive that unemployment money soon. So once we click the payment history, as you can see, I'm gonna scroll down and you can see the payment history in a chart here. Starting on March 15th, that was my waiting week. And on March 29th, I finally received my first payment. Now you're gonna notice that I selected to remove the taxes right away. It seemed to make sense for us because we'd hate to have to pay back a bunch of this at the end of the year. So instead of the 504, we ended up getting $441 per week. Now, one of the more frustrating parts of this was that it went to a debit card, which wasn't what we wanted. We wanted direct deposit. We filled out direct deposit, but it just didn't get to us in time. But ultimately, we were finally able to get the direct deposit starting on April 13th until present. Now, I know what you're thinking. Some of you are going, okay, well, that all looks good, but mine still says pending up here. And if you're still in this place where it says pending, have no fear, my wife is in the exact same place. So as you can see, this is my wife's benefit payment history, and we are making transaction requests every single week, but it still says your claim is in pending status. Your claim is in pending status. She doesn't have one of those columns that I have. There's no sign of encouragement here showing that they're actually doing anything about her payments. Now, I do want to be clear. Please make these requests every single week, even if you don't see traction. As you can see, we started these claims on March 9th, and despite still not receiving any money for over a month now, almost 2 months, we are still making these claims every single week because we know at some point they're going to continue to transfer these funds all the way back to our initial request date. Now, because she is self-employed, this is really where the pending status is getting hung up. And if you're watching this video and if you're also self-employed, I'm sure this is one of those critical hang-up moments for you. Well, hey, thanks so much for checking out today's video. If you learned something today, please hit that like and subscribe button. And if you're also trying to figure out when in the world you're gonna get your stimulus check, we've also created a video just like this one that offers a step-by-step instruction on how you can receive your stimulus check as soon as possible. And hey, if you don't need that video, thanks again for stopping by, and we look forward to connecting with you soon.